of small street. The house in which all books lived looked like some mouse. And he was up there, not bigger than a little finger, with enough agility to go through the library. He rolled around and fought with the raindrops, shook them off with his fur, which was full of water, and from time to time took a little water from his mouth to clean himself fully. It was clear that he was a real fighter. Raindrops can be easily beaten when you don't have an umbrella, even if you were a lot bigger than our hero. Nevertheless, he rolled through the gutter slowly and carefully, and then he got to the door of the library. What could a soaking wet mouse do in a library? Was he looking for a certain book called 101 Ways to Dry Your Fur? No, nobody knew the answer to this question except one elderly and experienced mouse, who before this awful rain saga started said, can you give me anything tasty to eat? I'm hungry.
I am too, Grandpa Sharptooth. I'll search for food, the young mouse said, and he stood up on his two legs. Still, he didn't know where to go. Where could the cheese be stored, and the bacon? Some pastry would be nice. He heard that you can find tons of tasty corn in pantries on a ship. But where could he possibly find a ship that travels across the seas in a city that didn't even have a river? He wondered, climbing on the tallest tree on the street. Then he saw the library, this ancient building, a very tall building, especially for such a small mouse, and thought, what a tall building! There must be a lot of food. The man who lived there may be eating tons of food a day.
When he got through the keyhole and turned the wall with some strange shelves and statues, he thought they were very fascinating. He had never seen books before, so he thought they were pretty. Brilliant packed food, he thought the pages were for eating, that they were cheese. And so he climbed up on the top of the chair, and so he climbed, and climbed.
And then he thought they were the tastiest pieces of food there in a place where everyone could get them. But when he licked the first page of a book and slowly put it in his mouth, it was one of the greatest moments in his life. Yes, it's slow motion, but this is a story. And then he spat the piece of paper. This isn't for eating, he was confused. But it must be useful for something. But what? He wondered. The old mouse had taught him how to read letters so he could read words like toast, fat, bagels, flour on food products, so he could bring back home as much food as he could. Now he was enjoying himself reading the first page of a book, flying in the clouds of magical places.
You don't always have to eat to be able to taste. You feel the taste when you read about it too, he said quietly, and continued to enjoy the tastiest book among all mice. Cheesology. Even though he didn't have a membership card and wasn't paying yearly membership, he became one of the most loyal readers of the library. Nobody knew about him except an old librarian who was confused every morning, having to return the book about cheese on the shelf, mumbling, if I only knew who always takes this book and never returns it to the shelf. If he only looked a bit better, he'd see the almost eaten up upper corner of Cheesology. He would know that every night a very clever, a very little, a very brave mouse enjoyed reading it.